Hey. What's happening? What's happening, YouTube? Mr. Smooth here. Back at you one more again. I'm here today to do a step-by-step kind of a how to do when it comes to repolishing or restoring a leather coat, like what you see I got here. Now, if you take a look and see, she needs some TLC, don't she? She just needs a little bit of TLC. Now, the way you do this, for those who don't know, is you got to go to the store, you got to pick up some leather lotion. Get yourself some leather lotion like this right here.
We're in Louisville. Here we are. It's the Kentucky Derby. The first thing we do is
don't mind the news playing in the background. I ain't got no control over that nonsense. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I ain't got the rights and none of that nonsense to that nonsense, so don't pay attention to the news. What we talking about right here is how I'm going to go ahead and bring this here leather coat back to life. Do a little something like so. Yeah, you put it on toothbrushes like you're going to brush your teeth. Nah, I'm playing. And then you take this bad boy and just do small circles. Alright? You do small circles until you polish that lotion all the way deep into the leather. Now, I don't know if you can see already, but just that quickly, just a little bit of TLC, and she's already starting to come back to life. So all she needs is just a little bit of TLC, and she will come back, and that bad boy will come back to life. Just a little bit of TLC. Now, when it comes to like the patching of the holes and stuff like that, you can't come to me for none of that. I don't know how to do all that nonsense. But when it comes to what I'm doing right now, and that's just treating this here leather coat so that way we can bring this and restore it and restore the hide back to at least its original luster. Because while it's looking all rough and ruggedy, you can't be walking around looking all rough and ruggedy. You got to make sure you take care of your stuff. So, if you don't want to have to go and pay a buttload of money to take your coat to somebody like Juan to do this here for you, this here leather lotion, you're investing about $10 into your coat. And it works wonders as long as you do exactly the same tactic that I'm showing you. You gotta do it in small circles, and you gotta be patient with it. You're gonna have to keep going over it, over and over and over again, because that leather has to seep deep inside that hide in order for you to bring it back to life. Now, I'm only going to do a small patch here for you guys to see, because I'm trying not to have this video be an hour long. But like I said, I just recently figured out how to do this because I didn't have a choice. I had a fashion show coming up. I had a bunch of leather coats that needed to be worked on. And the response that I got from everybody was, it's going to take 3 weeks. I didn't have 3 weeks. I had 3 days. So, for those that have never done this before, it's not a difficult task to do. It's just time consuming. And you got to be willing to be patient and take your time and work on your coat and actually put some love into it. Because the more you put love into it, the better it's going to come out looking. And like I say, you just do small circles just like this. I use a toothbrush because it helps me get that leather lotion deep into the hide. So when it comes to time for it to dry, it's lasting longer. It's looking more vibrant. And it's got a little bit more protection when it comes to the elements and stuff like that. Now, I'm not an expert or anything like that when it comes to this. I just recently started doing it. But if you take a look-see, give this here a second to do its thing, do its thug thizzle. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a second to do its thug thizzle. Let it dry nice and nice. While I'm going ahead and continue to work it in. Work this leather lotion into the hide. Just gotta keep working it in. Just keep working it in. Because eventually what winds up happening is it winds up seeping into the actual... It's kind of like putting lotion on your skin. But this skin is the back of a cow. So you kind of gotta work it. See, if I knew how to edit my videos, I'd have some crazy, RuPaul, you better work type stuff. But I'm not going to do that right now. Now, if you take a look, take a look here. Before, after, before, after. It really does bring your leather completely back to life. Like, if your leather was beat up, old, raggedy looking, take your time, put some love into it. If you ain't got the time to put some love into it, then pay somebody like me to do it for you. Small circles, scrubbing the leather into the hide. Go ahead and bring this over here so you can really get a good look at what I'm doing. And make sure you get all the way deep all up in there. I'm going to restore the whole thing, even inside the cracks, because that's the part that starts to act up the most. Alright.
Because they funded it. So they don't want bad news stories about the group that they gave a bunch of money to. They should be outraged. They should be invested. They gave money to them and then they brought an ass like that. Cover up for them. Alright, so
you can see it starting to come back to life slowly. Like I said, guys, I'm only going to do a small section of this coat. But I want you to see what it looks like as it's coming back to life and as I'm restoring it. It's night and day. It's total night and day. It just takes work. You gotta be willing to put in the work. That's all. If you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to put in the effort, then you don't have to spend $200, $300, $400 to have somebody retreat and repolish your leather coat for you. You can sit here and invest $10 into your material and do it yourself. Yeah, it's gonna take all day. But sit back, put on a movie, watch some TV. You're gonna be doing it anyway. You sitting there watching me, right? Well, if you're sitting there watching me, then you could be doing this too.
This village will provide educational experiences for youth and families. To raise funds and bring awareness to this project,
like I said, all you got to do is do small circles. Scrub that lotion all the way deep into that hide.
West in Washington County, Utah. He will
And
be
it
powered by
literally
Bell's
brings it
signature
back to life, and it softens the leather too. You'll notice that when you're done,
For a limited time to support this
once
effort,
you're
a
done
portion of the proceeds
doing
from
this
the
to your
signature
coat,
pack will go directly to the
especially if you
Pledge
already had a
Global
butter
Village
soft
Project.
leather coat
Use
to
promo
begin
code
with,
VILLAGE to receive 35% off your first
it's
preferred
gonna
order.
feel
Go to LivePatriotAttack.com,
like
sign your pledge,
butter
and we'll preserve the
soft
freedoms we value.
leather. It's going to feel like you got an extension of your own skin on your back.
Cancellation of most bookings. It's a bit functional, but we're glad to be functional, so you can be free.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Generalized myasthenia gravis. Want a new treatment?
Like you can see it yourself. Take a look. Look at that. You can see it yourself. You can see the difference yourself. And the other thing that you'll notice is the smell. The better your leather is, the more life you bring back into your leather coat, the more it starts to smell like a leather.
10 years, now we're expanding to 12 states.
By doing this, you are literally bringing your coat back to life. Take a look. Take a look, y'all. Take a look, y'all. You see the difference? The difference between the before and the after. It's night and day. Night and day. Where you're gonna spend upwards of $200-300 for somebody to do this for you. $150, $100 at the minimum for somebody to do this type of work for you. Go to Walmart, pick up a bottle that looks just like this. It's called leather lotion. You'll invest maybe $10 into your coat. The hardest thing that has to do is the time. It's time consuming, and it takes love. You gotta put love back into it, because if you don't put love into it, see this piece right here? Watch this. Just a little bit of love. Just a little bit of love. Watch how I bring this back to life. Just a little bit of love. That's all it takes, just a little bit of love. A lot of stuff in this world. You give it a little bit of love and it'll change the world, man. Love changes everything. You gotta put love in it. And if you ain't gonna put love in it, then don't even waste your time in doing it. Pay somebody like me to do it for you. If you're gonna get frustrated because it's gonna take too long, don't even try. Pay somebody like me to do it for you.
British journalist Batisha Mamata was featured
Look
in
at
the
that.
special, and she joins us now. Batisha, it's so great to have you.
Check this out.
I'm so fascinated by the royal family. I watch everything to do with Princess Diana.
Check that out.
And I like this special coming out. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Watch this.
Why are so many people?
I'm gonna make this nice and clear, nice and crystal clear. That way you can see it.
Princess Diana.
Nice, nice, nice.
It's all the things that we absolutely
I'm gonna go ahead and get this right here knocked out for you. This small section. And I'm just gonna work it.
Scandal, betrayal, death, forbidden love.
And I'm just gonna work it and keep working it and keep working it.
All packed into this world of unbelievable
Sometimes it takes more than one coat,
and wealth,
depending on how bad your coat was. This coat was tore up from the flow up, so it's gonna take a couple of coats of this lotion for it to really bring back its true luster. But even with the vinyl underneath it,
Well, the press plays is basically a character. If you will.
even with that vinyl sitting right up underneath it,
Now saying that they feel like, when they look at the whole story of what happened around her death, that she was basically hunted to death. Do you agree?
I absolutely do. I don't believe for one second that the royal family assassinated or murdered Princess Diana, but the atmosphere atmosphere around it, exactly as you say.
Take
It was
that
like
for
being
us.
followed all day and all night
Look
by
at that.
a pack of strangers with cameras
Mhm.
shouting at you. They would jostle her, they would push her, they would insult her to try to get any
Mhm.
kind of reaction. This isn't the
Like
same
I said,
as
just a
things
little bit of love.
in movies and magazines. This was on
And you bring her,
intimidation.
you bring this
Actually,
bad
that
boy
was very difficult
back to
deal
life.
with because she was trying to fulfill all her duties. She was a mother to two young boys, so these two young princes.
I'm gonna finish sitting here. I'm gonna sit here and finish working on this coat.
There was no escape.
This is Mr.
Yeah,
Smooth.
it's clearly coloring the way they actually live their lives right now. One of the things that I find
Back
really
at you.
interesting is the contrast between Meghan
Come on,
Markle
gang.
and Princess Diana. It's very obvious that Meghan Markle would like
Putting
to
some love
share
into it.
sort of love and adoration of Princess Diana, but she didn't really much like the work. And
Gotta
people
put the
don't
love
often
into the
talk
coat.
much about
Hold
just
up.
how hard Diana
Look at that.
worked at her job.
Look at this
Meghan
section
Markle
right here.
for a couple years, and she's like,
Toe up from the floor up, right?
I know, as a Brit, I find it very refreshingly American that Meghan came over and was like,
This section right here is toe up from the floor up. Look at this right here. This right yonder. Right around this area. Take a look, see. Watch this. I'm gonna bring this here right back to life real quick. Before I let you go, let me bring this piece, this small piece, back to life so you can see just how quickly a little bit of TLC makes all the difference when it comes to working with leather. It's not the... You're paying for the time. That's what you're paying for. When you pay to have this done, you're paying for somebody to meticulously do this throughout every single inch of your coat. And if you aren't patient enough to do that, don't even waste your time in trying, because you're just gonna mess it up. Real talk.
No once-daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trelegy, with 3 medicines in one.
And now, look.
Absolutely, speed of good choices. We'll head down
Night and day, guys.
trying to explain what the current administration's policies are there.
This is how you bring your leather back to life.
You might remember on Sunday, he was on Fox News Sunday.
It's slow.
He was asked about
It's meticulous.
administration policy with illegals flooding.
I stepped away for about 5 minutes and came back.
Individuals who are
I didn't step away from the coat. I stepped away from the video because I knew it was going to take another extra 5 minutes for me to do what I had to do.
do not make a claim. They're apprehended and
But
do not make a claim.
the more you work at it,
If they make a claim, then they
the
have
better
a
it comes
right
out looking.
under our law to
And the
seek
more
to
your
advance their
leather
claim before an immigration judge.
shines.
If the judge denies their claim, they are removed. We do not believe that individuals who do not have a right
This is
under
Mr.
law to be
Smooth
in the
here
United States, we do not believe that they should stay
with
in
a
the
basic
United States.
tutorial on how to bring your leather back to life.
And certainly noteworthy, especially when you
If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. The button's down there somewhere. And if you could, push that like button for me. That helps the Google algorithms help more people like yourself find these videos. Love y'all unconditionally. Peace.